Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Juan Gutierrez, undefeated bantamweight prospect. Hello, Juan. How are you?
Doing great, doing great.
To be honest, I think that right now, because the Fury FC got a lot of very good amateur fighters, but I think that you are one of the best right now. So, if you can tell me, when did you start training MMA?
So MMA, I'm coming up on 2 years now, about 2 years now. Yeah,
And what was the reason behind going and trying MMA?
right. So about 3 years ago, actually, um, I went into a different gym than I am now. I started doing jiu-jitsu, looking for MMA. They didn't have MMA, but I did jiu-jitsu, and I just kind of wanted to see what it's all about. I think I was watching Conor McGregor fight at the time. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I was like, I want to try that. And I went over there, did jiu-jitsu, didn't have MMA. But then I moved over here where I am now, over at Metro Fight Club. And the rest is history. I just started out there.
And what do you think about the like striking part of the game? Because you started with BJJ, and what do you think? How do you like the striking, boxing, kicking?
Oh, I'm starting to love it. Actually, this year, and after my second fight in March, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was, I was getting thrown around in the striking department. So I was like, I'm gonna, pick my hands up, like up to par with my grappling, and I started boxing this year, and I've been liking it a lot. It was a big transition, um, but I feel a lot more comfortable on my feet since March.
But there is no questions that you're like grappling is the kind of I think that the best part of your game, and I think that you're like going for rear naked back taking on overall, like changing position on the ground. It's like on the really high level, and it's kind of crazy that you started just 3 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. I grappling is, I will say that's my strong suit.
And where are you currently train?
I'm training over at Metro Fight Club, and I'm also training with a different group called Thug Jitsu or Thug U. I train over there with Bash. You've interviewed him before, along with a lot of other people. Adrian Yanez, Rafion Stotts, Paris Moran. A lot of good prospects out there. So I got a lot of good training partners.
So I think that both teams that you mentioned are very like high level with a lot of prospects, and actually the Sebastian Oyervides, it's probably one of the like maybe the best prospect
Yeah,
from Fury right now.
yeah, he's tough. Good grappler.
Yes, and he
He's
has
doing
lost many submissions like under the minute or under the
Yeah,
90 seconds on the high amateur level. So it's kind of crazy.
yeah. I believe like his matches don't like the combined they don't really add up to like I think even 2 minutes. So yeah.
And for now, you are training MMA 2 years, but when you are thinking about like your future and maybe future steps in your career, uh, when would you like to see yourself in the like major promotion? Because of course Fury is a very big promotion, a very big regional promotion. But do you have the like bigger bigger plan for going to the UFC in like maybe 5, maybe 7 years?
Uh, you're asking if I see myself in like a different promotion or?
Yes. In the future, do you have like UFC in mind as the goal?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm always working towards it. Um, but I'm not worrying too much about the destination. I'm just kind of focusing on what I can better myself in, every day. So, yeah.
And of course, this is like the previous question was about like long-term future, but about the near future. Do you see yourself fighting for the Fury amateur title?
Yeah. Actually, funny thing is, Eric, the president of promotion, he after my fight in September, he had messaged me. He said, "Hey, time for a title fight," and his message just got lost in between the posts that I was being tagged in, and I didn't see it for like 3 weeks, and I missed the title shot. Uh, but either way, I think maybe I would have fought in November. Maybe I don't think that would have been a good idea. I don't think I would have had enough time for a full camp. So yeah, I do see myself fighting for the title soon. Hopefully.
But in the end, there is a big chance that you will be in your next fight fighting for the title.
No, actually, I'm scheduled to fight January 12th for Fury FC 100.
And
Yeah.
and do you know who your opponent will be?
Uh, yeah, I do have a name. I think his name is Jose Felipe. Good prospect too. I believe he's 3-1. I know he's a big wrestler. So I will be, preparing for the wrestler stuff.
And I think that you didn't fought at like a pure wrestler so far in these three fights.
Not really, no.
So it's probably good to have this kind of fighter on your resume, because for many fighters, the wrestlers are the toughest opponents because
Yeah.
of their takedowns, pressure, and everything. So if you will be able to win or finish him, you will get another good name, good style to your collection.
Yeah. No, for sure. Um, yeah, from what I've seen, I believe my second opponent was also a wrestler, but he didn't really wrestle. So yeah, this will be a good little test for me.
And for now, what do you think was your the best performance from your like previous bouts?
My previous bouts, I don't know. I would say my last fight for sure in September. I feel like I showed growth for my second fight. I feel like I bettered myself on the feet. Grappling was there, but I was mostly just focused on my striking, which I was glad to see it grow. So I would say my last fight was my better performance of all three.
And actually, it's I think quite important that you finish all of your opponents, and sometimes it's a little bit hard on the amateur level because there are only 3 minutes, so it's like 9 minutes fights, not 15 minutes, so you have a little bit less time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually,
And when you are in the training camp for like this fight or one of your previous bouts, do you have the like moments that you are maybe not motivated because you are like super tired, or you have tough sparring rounds, and you have like a little bit problem with motivation? Do you have this kind of tough days?
I do have tough days where I come home all beat. So that'll usually be on Wednesdays. Wednesdays is when we have good sparring rounds out there at Metro in the morning, and then later I have a boxing coach, and I've been boxing a little bit, so I have been training like maybe twice a day sometimes during my camp. So yeah, I always end up like super beat at the end of the day. And yeah, just recently actually I've been getting up pretty early to go run so that it gives me time to, do what I need to do in the day.
But still, next day you are like ready to go, right?
Yeah.
To be on other training session.
Yeah, rest is a very important thing to me. I've been sleeping at a moderate time and then waking up at a moderate time. So yeah.
And about your like mental game, because it's also a quite important thing in the sport. Do you have a like maybe problem with the stress before your fights? Do you have like maybe are you stressed before your fights?
Yeah, not so much like during a camp, like right before my fight, like the day of the fight, I'll be like wrapping my hands. I'll be like, why? Why am I doing this? You know, it's like the nerves are kicking in. It's like, why couldn't I like I don't know, go to school. I don't know, like I am in school, but like focus on school, right? Instead of doing what I'm doing. But it goes away once I walk out, get into the cage, and then yeah, I feel just unleashed.
And in the cage, do you have some fear, maybe that you will be knocked out, or maybe that some injury will happen, or you are so focused on the like task that you see only your opponent and you are not thinking about a possible danger?
Yeah, prior to like let's say maybe the anticipation before the bell rings, I'll be like, oh man, I'm scared to get knocked out. But I don't know, once I get started and like I get my rhythm, it just goes away. I'm not really thinking getting knocked out. I'm thinking more of putting the pace on them. So yeah.
And overall, are you a MMA fan? So it's like a big pay-per-view or even UFC Fight Night. Do you like to watch the fights?
I do watch the fights from time to time. I would say I'm more of like a casual watcher. I don't know, like these like lower rankings, but I'm sure there's like people that I should know. But yeah, I would say I'm more of a casual watcher.
And who is your favorite fighter to watch? Because previously you mentioned like Conor McGregor, and of course he was a like super big fighter, super big personality. So is it him?
I like Connor, but I've always liked Tony Ferguson a lot more. Yeah, Tony Ferguson, I would say he was like my long time. Once I found out about him, I'm like, oh, I like this guy. I love Tony.
Is at one point I think that he had like over 10 wins, so it was like quite unstoppable. But unfortunately, the like few last years were of course not the best for
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. He's a little old. I feel like he should, hang the gloves up, but it's up to him.
And right now you are fighting in bantamweight division, but of course you are a quite young fighter. And do you think that in the end you will be fighting maybe featherweight, maybe even lightweight? Do you consider these possibilities?
I don't think, or well, I mean, you never know, but I don't think I'll be growing too much from where I am now. Maybe I'll go up to featherweight, but I do see myself in bantamweight for a good minute. And if I see that I can't, if I struggle to make bantamweight, I'll go up to featherweight for sure.
But of course the like both weight classes are like super with super talented fighters, because like bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, it's like always the most busiest weight classes.
Yeah, I feel like in those weight classes, those are like a perfect mixture of like speed and strength, right? Because like you go to heavyweights, like they're not that fast, but they still have a lot of power. But I feel like in bantamweight up to like lightweight, I feel like those are the weight classes where there's a good mixture of skill, strength, and speed. So yeah,
Yes, I think that one good thing about being like heavyweight is that you can be like 42 or 43 and still fighting on the high level, and in like bantamweight it can be like a little bit harder because you are not as quick as you were before.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you with age, can't keep cutting or I don't know, you just get older. So
And also about MMA, are you like MMA as the fan? Do you like this kind of part of the game, like trash talking? So it's not like a sport factor, but also this kind of things around the like physical abilities.
yeah, so I'm not a big fan of the trash talking side of it. That's not something I would do. Um, but I feel like I could be provoked if I'm like poked the right way. Um, but no, I don't see myself talking trash or being that kind of like that kind of guy. right? Um, I don't know, but I feel like it's good because obviously we see McGregor. He climbed his way up, with his mouth, even with his skill too. But his mouth did a lot of talking, and it, it it made him big. I feel like yeah, he's a pretty big face of MMA. So yeah,
Yes, it definitely can help, but it shouldn't be like only thing that you do,
yeah,
because I think that some fighters like maybe Colby Covington is doing this just too much. It's not super necessary.
yeah. I feel like you should be able to back it up. You know, so.
And outside of fighting, what do you like to do in your free time? Do you have a like additional maybe hobby or passion?
Um, Not so much now. I mean, fighting is like one of the only things I do, but there are point in times where I kind of go through little things. I like Legos. I like Legos quite a bit. I have a couple hanging up there. I like Legos. I also like, weirdly enough, I like crocheting sometimes. Um, I find it pretty fun, but I had to stop for a little bit because my hands would cramp up pretty bad.
And because I think that you need to be focused when you are doing it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's probably it's a good thing because in like today's world is like we are like with a lot of things to do, and when you are doing one thing you are super focused on it, and we are thinking about it, so I think that it can be also good for your head a little bit.
Yeah. It also helps that I love the training aspect of MMA. I don't really treat it so much as like work. It's like that is my hobby. Um, that is my thing that I like to do. I like running. Running is like my favorite thing to do. So I don't know, when I run, I just kind of get lost in my thoughts and I kind of forget that I'm running. But I'm still running. But yeah, I like just running because it clears my mind.
And do you compete in any kind of like official runs?
No, no. Yeah, I just run around here. I run like 3, 4 miles.
But it's also like a bit part of MMA, so in the end it will be for sure also helpful for you.
Yeah, yeah.
And before your fights, do you have any like pre-fights rituals? So we are doing maybe some things before the fights.
Not really. Yeah, I don't really believe in like any fight rituals. There's nothing that I really like would do before a fight, so it gets me like locked in or something. Um, yeah, no, not that I can think of. I don't really have any fight rituals.
And what, in your opinion, is the like most underrated skill in MMA? It can be like physical one or maybe other one like mental.
Hmm. Most underrated skill. Um, I don't know. I don't really know. I guess like yeah, the mental side of it. I guess a lot of people don't really see it. Like my friend at Next Level, Jay Alderete. Um, he's also a pretty big prospect. He fought at 25 for a little bit. I think he's moving up. Uh, he does a pretty good job of psyching his opponent out. Um, he'll go up to them and then like stare them down. So yeah, I guess I would say like yeah, the mental side of it is definitely overlooked sometimes.
Okay, Juan. So many thanks for the conversation. I hope that you will win your next bout in January, and soon you will fight for the title, and of course then you will go pro.
Yes, I hope to go pro. Shit, maybe by 2026. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We're tight. Where life takes me. So.